This is your ultimate bucket list guide to Niagara Falls. Everything from how to get here, where to get soaked by tons of water, how to get eaten by dinosaurs, dicing with death, and how to have the most amazing time at one of the most famous waterfalls in the world. Welcome to Niagara Falls, one of the most iconic natural wonders on the planet. Whether you're coming for the awe-inspiring waterfalls or the thrill of the nearby attractions, Niagara Falls has something for everyone. Have a look at a map and you'll realise that it borders Canada and the United States. In my opinion, the best view of the falls, and everything that's fun around here, are all located on the Canadian side, so this video mostly covers that. Let's start with the main attraction, the breathtaking Horseshoe Falls. This is the largest of the three waterfalls that make up Niagara Falls, and the one that most people think of. The sheer power of water plunging over the edge is immense. Standing on the Canadian side, you'll get the best panoramic views of the Horseshoe Falls as millions of gallons of water cascade over every second. The one next to it are the American Falls, which are way smaller than the Horseshoe Falls, but are equally stunning in their own right. You can cross over to the US side via the Rainbow Bridge for a closer view, but my advice is to take it all in from the Canadian side. It's a much better view. The mist rising up from both falls creates an incredible atmosphere, and sometimes even a rainbow. Now at this point of the video, I have to be brutally honest. You might be a little disappointed. The falls themselves are only 60 meters in height and are shrinking every year. Every photo and every video makes them seem very huge, but when you actually get here, it's smaller than you think. However, it doesn't detract from the fact that this is an awesome example of natural beauty. If you want a close-up experience, hop aboard a boat. There are two companies that supply boat tours, Statue Cruises and the world-famous Maid of the Mist. With either company, you'll get a boat tour that will take you right into the heart of the falls, where you'll feel the roar of the water and get soaked by the mist. Even though they arm you with a poncho, I'm always surprised that people don't think that they're going to get wet when taking a boat ride through a giant waterfall. It's an unforgettable ride, one of those experiences you'll remember for years. Though be warned, you will come out wet, even with a plastic poncho. If you don't want to spend all day soaked through to your underwear, it's actually an incredibly pleasant walk along the falls. You can spend an hour just walking up and down this boulevard, or if you're a little bit more adventurous, you can zip line down it instead for the most extreme way of viewing the falls. I highly recommend that you stop off at the corner of the Horseshoe Falls, just to see the sheer amount of water that tumbles over it every second. And along this road, there's plenty of places to eat and drink here, so it's a very nice way to spend an afternoon. Whilst you're walking, you might spot this tower across the street. This is the Skylon Tower. Standing at 775 feet, it offers the best panoramic views of Niagara Falls, the surrounding city, and even the Toronto skyline on a clear day. The ride up in the glass-enclosed elevator is pretty cool, and once you're at the top, you can take in some of the amazing views from the observation deck, or dine in the 360-degree revolving restaurant. I've eaten here on a previous occasion, and the food and the view was superb. If you get bored of the falls, there's always Clifton Hill right next door. It's kind of like a Canadian Disneyland of sorts, with giant dinosaur adventure golf. You can race each other at Niagara Speedway, visit haunted houses, museums, Ferris wheels. You can shop for souvenirs and stuff yourselves with junk food. It's basically a carnival that's the size of a small town, but you'll definitely have fun here, especially if you have kids. That's everything within the area of Niagara Falls on the Canadian side, but if you're after something a little bit quieter, drive up the road and you'll come across the town of Niagara-on-the-Lake. The best way I can describe this is that it's a perfect show village. This charming, picturesque place is a nice quiet escape from the crowds. It's known for its beautiful 19th century architecture, boutique shops, gorgeously manicured everything, and the people here are super friendly. This town is known for its world famous butter tarts, which are amazing. You should buy some. And overall, if you imagine what the perfect village would look and feel like, this would be the place. At this point, you'll notice a lot of wine shops around here. And this is because you're in wine country. Niagara is the Canadian version of Bordeaux, and some of the world's famous wines come from here. But they also make a special version of it called ice wine that's made with frozen grapes, and it's super expensive, especially compared to normal wine. But it is absolutely amazing. If you get a chance to go on a winery tour, you can see how this is made, but also you get to sample some of Ontario's other famous wines. If you manage to get a tour around Peller Estates, that comes highly recommended. And if you want a bit more adrenaline, check out the Niagara Whirlpool. Further downstream from Niagara Falls, these intense rapids are formed by the Niagara River as it twists and turns through the narrow gorge, creating a swirling whirlpool below. You can view it from the Whirlpool Aero car, a cable car that takes you right over it, or if you're feeling extra adventurous, take a jet boat tour through the rapids themselves. Whether you're here for the natural beauty of Niagara Falls, the carnival fun of Clifton Hill, or the picturesqueness of Niagara-on-the-Lake, this region has it all, from epic boat rides to stunning views and everything in between. Niagara Falls is worth adding to your ultimate bucket list. Okay Nin, I'm sold. What do I need to do? Well, you need to come here to Niagara Falls. Uniquely, it's located between two countries, and you can get here in several ways. If you're coming from the American side, the international airport is here, and the nearest major city is Buffalo. And if you're arriving from Canada, most people are coming from Toronto. With both countries, it's easy to drive to, with plenty of car parking on either side. But if you don't have a car, there are many public transport options. The easiest from Toronto is to take the GO train from Toronto Union Station to Niagara Falls GO Station. This should cost around $30 for a return journey. Or the Flixbus from downtown Toronto to Niagara Falls, single journeys start from $10. The easiest way from Buffalo is to take the number 40 bus from downtown to Niagara Falls. That should only cost you about $4. When you're here in Niagara, you don't need public transport to explore the main falls and Clifton Hill. But take the WeGo bus, which will take you to Niagara-on-the-Lake and the Niagara Whirlpool if you don't have your own car. The cost? The falls are completely free, as is Niagara-on-the-Lake and the Niagara Whirlpool. So unless you're eating, drinking, or spending money trying to find different ways to look at the falls, it's an incredibly cheap day out. If you're looking for a place to stay, my recommendation is to find a hotel on the Canadian side. The Sheraton near the Skylon Hotel has the best view of the falls, but it's also the most expensive, so please bear this in mind. Is there anything else I need to know? Yes. I probably shouldn't have to say this, but it's technically illegal to jump into the falls. Please don't do that. And if you are coming to Toronto, check out my complete Toronto City Guide right here, the most helpful guide on YouTube in visiting this incredible city. So what are you waiting for? Plan your visit to Niagara Falls, experience the wonder for yourself, and create memories that will last a lifetime. As always, be sure to like, share and subscribe for more travel guides to incredible destinations around the world. I'll see you in the next episode.